Hello there, it's Nick Pendergast here from Clarity Kent, and I wanted to jump on today to do a short video that's talking about lifestyle medicine. It is menopause month, we're coming towards the end of it, and it was menopause day on Saturday just gone. So I want to talk today about balancing our inflammatory scales, so to speak, in menopause, and looking at lifestyle hacks, aka lifestyle medicine. So inflammation and menopause, the two are connected. Inflammation, or inflammaging as it's coined, is considered the trigger but not the root cause of most age-related diseases. Low inflammation is the biggest predicting factor for our longevity. A new term, chronic low-grade inflammation, develops with age and contributes to age-related disease. And it appears within our menopause transition, yet we've already arrived premenopausal, perimenopausal, with low-grade inflammation. So the higher the baseline inflammation, the worse our menopausal symptoms will be. So no surprises that baseline inflammation is induced by stress, lifestyle, and importantly too, social isolation. Isolation too being the biggie for us in menopause, notwithstanding the potential effects for us post-pandemic. So stress steals pregnenolone and produces cortisol over our sex hormones. So if cortisol and adrenaline levels are elevated, then cue inflammation affecting our midlife immunity, our sleep, our weight, our mood, our blood pressure, amongst other things. So lowering our inflammation in midlife is really key for our aging, our cognitive health, and our quality of life. So estrogen, one of our sex hormones, is our anti-inflammatory. So when it drops, low-grade inflammation can be elevated and take our menopause symptoms to a higher level. So inflammatory factors deplete our reserves of estrogen. So a healthy life in menopause suppresses inflammation, maintains our physical as well as our mental health, and creates a higher quality of life. So how can we address this to lower inflammation in our body? It's a holistic picture, yes. We can put estrogen into our system, aka HRT, if there's no contraindications for you, and that's what you'd like versus a more natural route. Yet it's not a panacea, and it's just one piece of the lifestyle medicine jigsaw puzzle. We can restore and reset in midlife to rebalance our autonomic nervous system. And we can adopt behavioural strategies too that aim to activate our parasympathetic nervous system, which is our rest and digest mode. So cue what I call our lifestyle hacks, our own lifestyle medicine, ways to balance those inflammatory scales and activate the parasympathetic nervous system of ours and switch off the sympathetic response, which is that, as I like to coin it, our foot on the gas pedal and the fight, flight, freeze response. These hacks are really common knowledge. You'll be aware of them all, yet, to be honest, we can find them harder to put into play. So we know that inflammation goes up with poor quality sleep, poor quality nutrition, excess sugar and alcohol, a high BMI, a sedentary lifestyle, social isolation, stress. So what are the ways that we can bring our inflammation down? So starting with sleep to begin with. Getting sufficient sleep is important for our overall physical health and emotional well-being. So having a regular sleep routine, one that probably doesn't differ from during the week and the weekend. and create a comfortable sleep environment that can promote better sleep. So having a wake up and anchor time and going to bed at approximately the same time each day. Looking to gain light exposure, daylight or artificial light. The former is better if you can, within 15 to 30 minutes of waking up. Dim the lights at least 2 hours before bedtime and avoid restricting those blue emitting lights from devices, phones, laptops. Avoid turning on your lights between 10 p.m. and 4 a.m. if we need to get up for a wee, as it will repress your production of melatonin. Have a bedtime routine, wind down at least 30 minutes before going to sleep, maybe consider a warm bath or shower before bed, and ensure that your bedroom is a cool space, because our body needs to cool by 1 to 2 degrees Celsius to sleep. A darkish room, as light will suppress our production of melatonin again, and a quiet and uncluttered space. So active lifestyle. Motion is lotion. Movement. Regular exercise, regular movement can help reduce our menopause symptoms, including the hot flashes, the mood changes and sleep disturbances. So we're talking sort of regular weight bearing, strength-based resistant exercise. Walking's good and stretching. Yoga's good for this, as is Qigong. This all helps with muscle aches and pains, as well as looking after our bone health. A balanced diet. Thinking of omega fatty acids, probiotic, prebiotic foods, antioxidants and polyphenols. Eating a well-balanced diet during midlife that includes plenty of fruit, vegetables, whole grains, protein and healthy fats can really minimize symptoms such as our hot flashes, our mood changes and weight gain. The importance of being out in nature. Getting out into green space can really help to reduce our blood pressure, reduce the risk of type 2 diabetes, cardiovascular disease, stress and anxiety. Research suggests that getting outside improves our sleep, our immune function, our mood, our self-confidence and well-being. And in midlife too, it produces those real good, feel-good endorphins, helps to ground ourselves and provides an injection of vitamin D too, if, as I mentioned earlier, we can get out within the first hour of waking up. Connection. Menopause, let's be honest, menopause can be lonely. Few happiness hacks that support us in connecting to ourselves, pets, family, friends, and our local communities. You know, what gives you a sense of purpose? What brings you joy? Laughter. Have a good giggle with a friend or put on your favourite comedy. Hot and cold exposure. Saunas or hot baths on the heat front, and cold showers or cold water swimming if you do that on the cold front. Saunas or hot baths do impact body temperature, our metabolism, our heart health, our hormone production, exercise recovery, cognition, mood and longevity, leading to growth hormone release, a reduction in our cortisol levels and improves depression. And for cold exposure, showers or immersion enhances mental health, our physical health, increases our sympathetic nervous system. Yes, it does stress the body, but in the event it boosts our metabolism, reduces inflammation again, and leads to improvement in our attention, our mood, and our cognitive focus. And stress relievers, what are yours? Self-care takes so many different forms and is different for each and every one of us. So find out what suits you to alleviate your stress. Could it be social, spiritual, physical, and or work related? The choice is ultimately yours. And finally, meditation. This is all about being present, and this is something that I continue to work on each and every day. It doesn't have to be about sitting or lying down or listening to a meditation, though it can be that. And in my blog, I've posted to a great meditation by Tara Brach. Have you ever considered Yoga Nidra? That's very much my go-to now. It's about stretching, but importantly about relaxation and switching off. being present in our body and noticing the messages and the sensations in our bodies that they are sending us. Noting any tension in the body. Mine tends to be stomach and gut. And I really like Ayla Nova on Spotify for that. And finally, pardon the pun, a big passion of mine is having a passion in midlife. Passion fuels purpose. Exploring new interests can really spark joy and engagement. You can use journaling from that. I'd cite the morning papers from the book The Artist's Way to gain insight and engage in joyful activities, try new hobbies, be creative, explore flow states for you, and build habits that enhance appreciation and daily gratitude. Purpose doesn't have to be grand, and it doesn't have to be in a professional stance either. Small moments of joy and meaning add up. Aligning our passions, values, and contributions creates a fulfilling life. So just a final one, how can I help you? And I know I've mentioned this before. I work with something called the Embers model, which is a menopause-informed psychological care framework, which aims to educate, validate, and empower women like myself and yourselves to implement strategies to regain control over your life, your body and mind during the perimenopause, menopause transition and beyond. It's a really comprehensive therapeutic approach, which is an integration of an understanding of the psychological, emotional, and physiological changes us ladies experience during menopause, whilst also considering the broader context of what's going on in our lives. And this approach is it's not therapy per se, but it helps us to address symptoms, but also to consider factors such as physical and mental health status, relationships, work, and life stressors. I hope you've enjoyed this today during World Menopause Month, and I'll be back in touch soon. Bye for now.